project is basically kind of titled Welcome Home Ed. So where I got that inspiration is I was struggling last year. I was struggling with an eating disorder. I was really kind of in denial, as I think most people kind of are. I lost like 40 pounds. I went from 188 to 148, and it was a tough thing, and I didn't realize, I didn't think that I needed help. Like, I thought, I'm just doing the healthy thing. So the title comes from my doctor that I finally went into, because I called and I talked to a nutritionist and she was like, you're dying. And then she sent me to a doctor who did blood tests, and I told her, like, I just don't think I have this. Like, I'm just like getting a little too carried away with being healthy. And she was like, just think of it as a little person named Ed sitting on your shoulder, so eating disorder, sitting on your shoulder, whispering to you about food 80% of the time, because that's really all I thought about and probably all I talked about. I'm sure I was very, very boring. My diet, my exercise, my food choices. And that's sort of the point where it kind of hit home for me. I was still kind of in denial. Basically, I had the idea for the video first, and then I started writing this poem, this super cathartic poem. Ends up being like 7,000 words, long, expansive. I explained it, I sort of tied it into this idea of like a rape of myself, of my body, my mind, my emotions, that kind of thing. And all the things that I did leading up to this, and why I was this way, and the things that it led me to do, because I was in such a dark place and really just didn't care about myself all that much. And then in the poem I sort of gained this sort of Stockholm Syndrome type thing, and I love Ed. And because Ed gives me everything that I want. Like, Ed's telling me, like, the world could be mine, I just gotta, like, run, eat less, eat a salad for dinner. That was the start of that. And then I was like, I can't just do well, actually what happened was I told my mom that I wanted to do this, and she misunderstood, and she thought I wanted to do still photography. So she got me a still camera. It's like a still photography camera, like a DSLR instead of like a video camera. Really sweet. I'm not upset by any means. So I was like, okay, like, I'll use this opportunity and I'll make some like photo shoots that tie into it. I ended up creating like 16 different photo shoots that all were conceptual. They all lived in their own little world. They all had their own character, and it all tied into my overall story, so they all tell the story. So there's like an abstract, there's the beginnings, there's the in the throes of it, and then there's like towards the end of everything, and then there's like this hypothetical, had I not gotten help, like this death of my three different parts of me, my death of my emotions, my death of my mental self and my lust for life, and the death of my physical self as well. And it definitely caused a stir with some people. I think that it's a really high compliment when somebody says somebody doesn't like your art, or it offends somebody, or it takes somebody off guard, or somebody says something bad about it, because that means you have a good message and you're doing something right. And I think that's a really high compliment to me, because like, I want to be loved and hated, and polarizing is very important. I think the best stuff is polarizing. So like, I made stuff that I liked, and the fact that other people like it and can connect to it and draw their own meaning out of it, and inherently by proxy make that meaning my own as well, is something really special to me. And that's what I think art is, and that's why I'm proud to call myself a creator.